exposing the terror in Los Angeles. What if your worst nightmare roamed your streets? Imagine waking up to a world where the impossible becomes reality, where the very fabric of existence is torn apart by an unimaginable horror. This is not a tale from a science fiction novel. This is the story of the day the apocalypse walked into Los Angeles. On July 15, 1967, at exactly 12:30 p.m., the impossible happened. The city was bustling with its usual energy, people going about their daily lives, unaware that their world was about to change forever. The sun was shining brightly, casting a golden hue over the city, when suddenly, the sky darkened, and an eerie silence fell over Los Angeles. A gigantic black creature appeared out of nowhere in the heart of Los Angeles. It was as if the very air had been ripped open, and this monstrosity had stepped through from another dimension. People stared in disbelief, their minds struggling to comprehend the sheer scale of what they were witnessing. But this wasn't just any creature. Standing 3 miles tall and 4 miles long, it had legs like massive elephants, and a head shaped like a black, featureless egg. Its presence was overwhelming, casting a shadow that stretched for miles, blocking out the sun and plunging the city into darkness. Around its ankles, thunderous clouds, swirling as if trapped in some storm. These clouds crackled with energy, lightning flashing within them, adding to the creature's terrifying aura. It was as if nature itself was rebelling against this abomination. But here's the thing. People tried to take photos, and it never showed up. Cameras malfunctioned, images came out distorted or blank. It was like this beast from another dimension couldn't be captured on camera. It was as if it existed outside the realm of human perception, a phantom that defied the laws of reality. It was like this beast from another dimension couldn't be captured on camera. No matter how advanced the technology, it was as if the creature was cloaked in an impenetrable veil, a ghostly presence that eluded all attempts to document its existence. For 7 days, this monster roamed LA, temperatures soaring to 154 degrees, with rain falling up into the sky. The city was transformed into a surreal nightmare. The laws of physics turned on their head. People watched in horror as the rain defied gravity, rising into the heavens as if drawn by some unseen force. And get this, it was somehow snowing in that blistering heat. Snowflakes fell from the sky, only to evaporate before they hit the ground, creating a ghostly mist that hung in the air. It was a scene straight out of a fever dream, a world where nothing made sense. As the monster left, people thought the nightmare was over, but it was just beginning. The city lay in ruins, its inhabitants shell-shocked and traumatized. But the true horror was yet to come, lurking beneath the surface, waiting to strike. Tiny versions of the beast, no bigger than chihuahuas, dug out of the ground, spewing acidic black goo that melted everything it touched. These miniature monstrosities were relentless, swarming through the streets, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Buildings crumbled, cars dissolved, and the very ground seemed to sizzle and burn wherever they went. Even worse, survivors of the first attack reported overwhelming feelings of doom and aggression. It was as if the creature's presence had infected their minds, driving them to the brink of madness. People who had once been friends and neighbors turned on each other, their eyes filled with a primal rage. Hours later, they turned on the cleanup crews, eating them alive, starting with their hands. The city descended into chaos, a hellish landscape where humanity's darkest instincts were laid bare. The streets ran red with blood, and the air was filled with the sounds of screams and the sickening crunch of bone. Fast forward to Washington, D.C., where the beast was now 10 miles tall and moving faster. The nation's capital was gripped by fear, its citizens fleeing in terror as the monstrous entity loomed ever closer. The government scrambled to respond, but their efforts were futile against such an overwhelming force. Cities evacuated, but it wasn't enough. The creature's advance was relentless, its massive form casting a shadow of doom over everything in its path. Highways were clogged with cars, people abandoning their vehicles in a desperate bid to escape on foot. It kept growing. By now, it was larger than anyone could have imagined. Its body stretched into the sky, a towering colossus that seemed to touch the very heavens. The ground shook with each step it took, the earth groaning under the weight of its immense bulk. Then, it vanished into the ocean. Without warning, the creature turned and made its way to the coast, disappearing beneath the waves. The sea roiled and churned in its wake, as if the very ocean was struggling to contain the beast's immense power. Is it gone for good? Or is the apocalypse just getting started? The world holds its breath, waiting for the next chapter in this nightmarish saga. The ocean remains eerily calm, but the sense of foreboding lingers. a dark cloud hanging over humanity's future. The question remains, will we ever be truly safe, or is this just the beginning of a new era of terror?